Hello, Watercolor Wednesday friends. Good morning to you. It's a good day to watercolor, and we are going to have so much fun today. We are on page 2 of our little Christmas journal. It is coming together, and I have seen the cutest journals you guys have posted on the blog. Thank you for doing that. I love seeing your work. So inspiring and just so fun to see the different take on these things. You know, I have a different vision than some of you do, and you put your own spin on it, and it's so cute. So, and I knew it would be. I knew it would be. I was so excited to show this to all of you guys just because of that. And it's really fun to do it together. So thank you, as always, for being with me on Wednesday mornings. I absolutely love this time together. Like I said, we're gonna do page 2 now in our journal. And then I also have a holiday reveal for you guys today. So there are 4 new holiday sets that are now available on our website. So you'll have to check those out. So I will show that to you and we'll get into our project. But I need to just say hello to all of you that are on here. Say hello to all of my friends. Whoops, we had the volume on there. Okay, we're good to go. There's always just some little glitch, you guys. Okay, Sandy is on. Debbie Hedges is on. Carolyn, hello. Kristen is on. Janet, hello. Talented Janet. Thank you so much for being on. Vicki is on. Vicki, are you doing this with me? She says, excited to play along. So, you guys, I will try to slow it down, as always. I'll try to slow it down for you. This project today is super simple, as actually all of them are. So we have one watercolor project today and a pocket that we're going to make. And we're going to do that watercolor project, and then we're going to assemble into our journal. So we're going to finish that second page. Catherine, hello. Deborah, hello. Idaho, Margot, hello from Idaho. California, good wishes for a wonderful morning. Thank you, Laura. Barbara Beckley is on. Hello to you. Julina is on. Kathy, hello. Been anxiously waiting for today. I know it, you guys. This is the funnest project. Phil will say that too, and actually everybody will say that because I've been talking about this for so long and so excited to finally get to make it with you guys. So I'm looking forward to this every time we do these. Bobby is in Texas. Wow, I bet it is hot there. It's been hot here too. We've had some blistering days, and I think we've got a few more coming out. So you know what? We just roll with it, and then we're ready for fall. So that's just kind of how it goes. Paulette is on. She's watching. Thank you, Paulette, for being on. Marianne, hello. Kathy from Texas. Helen, thanks you guys for being on. Let me show you now. I think most of you are on, so let me show you this new release. So this is available right now, as well as samples of all of these sets. They're all available on our website. And so I'm going to show you the sets, and then you can check those out on our website. If you go to artimpressions.com, click on these, you'll be able to see exactly what all the sample cards are from our brilliant design team. They are so talented, and we're so thankful to have them. They're just amazing. And you guys, these would be cute in the journal too. I mean, I just got to say. Here is the harvest one. I haven't done scarecrows in years, and I thought this would be really fun to do. There's some really cute sentiments that go with it. Hey friend, Hay, how cute is that? Cutest pumpkin in the patch. So kindness, harvest friendship. So really fun, cute sayings. These all come with dies so that you can cut them out, and maybe we make a harvest journal next, and we include, a couple of these in there. How cute would that be? You could watercolor these, or you could use your Copic markers or your colored pencils, whatever your preferred medium is. And these would be so fun to use. So the little he and the little she, and then the little birdhouse here. And like I said, dies to cut out all of these little characters. So this one is, I'll tell you what the number is, 5507. Harvest Together set. So if you go to artimpressions.com and put in the search bar 5507, this set will come up, And then if you hover over it, you'll be able to see the samples that are on the website. Okay, and you know, I gotta have a Halloween set because I love doing Halloween, you guys. I absolutely love it. Here is the new Halloween set. These guys also would be really cute in a journal to just, you know, put one of these on each page. And I included this little this little beat up window here, and there's a die for it that opens it. So there's a little note here that says window shutters open and close. So that die inside that's included with this set, it will open your little shutters and you can tuck one of these little guys behind it. Be so cute. Put them in a window. Or put 3 windows and then put each one of them in a window. Wouldn't that be cute? So check out on our website what our design team what our design team has created to go along with this set. This is number 5506. So if you put that into the search bar, this little set will come up, and it is available right now. And of course, all the dies, the die for the window and the die for all of these little characters also is included in this set. Everything comes together. Okay, and this was so fun. Okay, you know what? I'm so not a fan of mice, real mice. I have a phobia about it, and I don't know, maybe that's why I keep drawing them, but I love drawing mice. And I have this cute little mice set for Christmas, Chris mice. And I think this would also be really cute in a journal. So there are 3 of them. This little guy drinking his hot chocolate, his hot cocoa here. And there's some really cute sentiments in here. Naughty or mice, how cute is that? Let's be merry and bright, have a holly jolly Christmas, and Merry Christmas. Isn't that cute? So these little guys, guess what? They come with dies and they're all included. So everything is together in the set. So you'll have everything that you need to do your cards or your journals or whatever you want with this set because everything is included in it. This is number 5564. And you will be able to find this on the website as well as sample cards. So check that out. Just put 5564 in the search bar and this little set will come up. Love this set. Okay, and also I always add to Windows to the World. So there is a new Christmas Windows to the World, and it has the extra little stamp that goes with it. So these now are made to go with our shadow box die. And let me show you kind of how that works. I don't have one of this window, but I can show you the shadow box, and it looks like this. So this die set, isn't this a cute card? It's just so cute. You can see it on the back side. It's a little shadow box, and it folds flat when you close the card. So just like this. And then when you open it, that shadow box pops open. So now this designer, this is Lynn, she put the extra little stamp on the front of the card, but you can also pop it up inside the window in the front to make it look a little more 3-dimensional. So that's how they work. And here is that, this is the shadow box window die set 5408, and there are tutorials on how to do this shadow box. Really, it's so easy. Really simple to do. It works with all of the Windows to the World. So you can use it as, you know, the traditional way, or you can put this one into the shadow box, which would be just so cute. This one is 5454 sledding window set. So that is what this one is, 5454, if you want to search that on the Art Impressions website. Okay, so those 4 sets are available right now. You can go to the Art Impressions website and you'll be able to get those right now. And we are going to get going on our project, you guys. Page 2 of our journal is coming together and it's so fun. And if you haven't started yet, you can start anytime because these videos are all archived on Facebook and now on YouTube. So you'll be able to go find part 1 and now part 2 and catch up to us. So I space these out every 2 weeks so that you have time if you're going along with us, you have time to order the set that we're going to use and get that shipped to you before we do the 3rd step. Or you can just wait until that's archived and go back and do it yourself. Just the nagging cough still, you guys. Okay, let me switch my camera around and we will get started on our little project here. And then I'll come back later and I'm going to show you what we're going to need for the next tutorial, which will be in 2 weeks. So in 1 week on the live, I'll do a basic watercolor project, something more with this season. And then in 2 weeks, we'll be back for part 3 of the journal. And that's kind of how we'll do it. And then at the end, we may have to catch up, or, you know, it's possible I may have to record one. So we finish by October. I want to finish these by October so that we can get onto a harvest one. I think that will be so fun. All those oranges and reds and brown tones will be so fun. So we will finish this up. And I will be so anxious again now to see your take on page 2. I know you guys are going to do an awesome job. Okay, let me switch this around, and then I will be back after this tutorial and go over what you will need for the next one. Okay, so I've got my phone on here. Make sure this is straight. Okay, so here is the journal, and let me show you what we're going to be doing. So we started out, the first tutorial was the cover and the inside, which was this page here. Now, after we did that, we left that page open, or we didn't glue in the page into the journal. So we left it, here's actually the one that we made last time. We left it open so that we can add the page back. And then we'll glue it into our cover just like this. So we're going to do the page back, and then we're going to do the next page. So that would be this. That would be this one here, this page here, which is the back of the little snowman. We're going to do this one, and then we're going to do this little mailbox, this little Christmas mailbox with this cute little sentiment on here. So this part here is what we're going to do today. And then in 2 weeks, we'll be going on and we'll be doing this one. So the little corners, the little Santa with the little bird, and then the little ornaments over here in the frame. So we're going to be doing this one next time, and I'll tell you exactly what you're going to need for this next project. So for today, we're going to complete this page, and then we're going to do the next one. So let me move this out of the way. And if you don't have anything yet and you want to start with us, you will need the steel dies. So this is the journal template die set, and it is 5543, this one right here. This is what you'll need to get started. And then you will want the clasps. So that is this set here. And then as we go, you'll be able to catch up with us on all of the tutorials. Part 1, Part 2, they'll be easily marked, so you'll be able to see exactly where we're at, and you can kind of go at your own pace. Okay. Here we go. So we don't need a lot, you guys. We're going to use this set. Now, if you followed along with the last watercolor live last Wednesday, I did this little birdhouse right here. So I did in fact, let me just show you. I did a little summer birdhouse with this set because it isn't just Christmas. And what's on the front of it is a Christmas image, so a Christmas sample, but you can also use these for other occasions. So I wanted to show you that last week, that you can take these and use them for any occasion, any season. So I took this little birdhouse and I just created this little scene here, little summer scene, and then I used the dies. So these are the dies that we're going to be using today. So they're really, really versatile, not just for a journal. They're also great for the cards that you want to send too. Okay, so this is last week. So it's archived on there. You can go back and check that one out if you would like. And this time we're going to do the snowy one. We're going to do the mailbox right here. So we're going to need this set. This is 5575. And then this, we're going to take this little bird. So these are actually little blue jays, but we're going to turn it into a cardinal. This little guy right here. And it is from the large birdhouse set, 5261. Now, if you don't have this set and you've got other birds, I'm going to show you how you can turn a bird that you have into a little cardinal. So I'm going to show you that. I just picked one of the little birds I had, and I'm going to show you how to make it turn it into a cardinal if you don't have this specific set. If you have this one, this is the little guy we're using right here. And then this set, the Bible journal or the Bible foliage set 2, and we're going to be using these little ivy boughs here. And really, you just need, one, whichever one is most comfortable for you to use. I've used this one, but honestly, it kind of depends on how you're growing it up over the post. You could use either of these, or you could use them both. So I just picked one. I picked this one right here, and actually, did I pick this one? I picked this one right here. That's the one I used. And you can choose this one, or you can choose the other one. Okay? So also, this little clear set here, this is 5566. This is the Christmas sentiment set, and it creates all the little sentiments that are in your journal. So we're going to be using the Merry Christmas, and then the which one did I use? Actually, Christmas blessings. This one right here, the longer sentiment. So 3 large sentiments, and then these little small single line sentiments that you can just tuck in here and there. So we're going to be using those 2. Okay, so let's do our watercolor project first. Let's do our watercolor project first, and then we will assemble everything into our journal. Okay, so we're going to start out by stamping that little mailbox. Let me just grab a drink of water here. We're going to do this little mailbox, and we're going to make it snowy. And by the way, you could do that birdhouse snowy too. It's sitting out there in the snow, and maybe it's got a little cardinal perched on it and some ivy growing up around it. It would be so cute. So if you want to use that one, feel free to do that one as well. Okay, so we're going to use 2 colors here. We're going to use the dark blue, 565, and then we're going to use the dark brown. And let me grab that. Where did I put that? Hang on one second. This one right here, the 969. So we're going to use 2 colors on these. Now, we're going to tuck something in here. So let me show you what we're going to be doing. We're going to create these little envelopes that are coming out of the mailbox. So we're going to put these 2 on here, and we're going to create this snow on the top. So you can see the mailbox. Let me just put it on here so you can see the difference. We're going to create this little snowy mound on top of the mailbox, and we're going to leave this line right here. This little line right here, we're going to take that off, and we're not going to ink that line. And the little clasp up here. So this little hook, it's going to kind of get in the way, so we don't really need it. We're going to add some ivy in here and some ivy growing up along the post. So I just took that off just so I don't, I just really don't need it, and I would rather have this ivy in here. And then we're going to create these little envelopes. So we're just going to take off this line, the outside line, and then the hook. Okay? And you can just not color it, or you can take your thumb like I do and just kind of rub it off. So we're going to start out with the blue, and I'm just going to color the whole thing here. Just use the side of your marker and just color that that whole thing. And then we're going to go right back over the top of it with the 969. And we want to stamp this off. We really want to stamp it off. Just use some sort of scrap watercolor paper that you have and stamp it off. And you can see how dark that is. We don't want anything that dark because it's going to be too much color in here. Unless we're doing something really old and rustic and we want a lot of those browns in there, we want to always stamp it off. So now I'm going to just take my thumb and just take this part off right here. Just take that part off. And I'm going to stamp that now onto my watercolor paper. Just like that. And you can see how light that is. It's really, really light here. That's exactly how we want it. And this line is missing. Now, I'm also missing this line here too. So I'm just going to take my pencil. I'm just going to take a pencil and I'm going to put this line, just darken this line and sort of bring it back in. Just like that. And this one here too. Kind of lost that line, but it's okay. So you can always go back and do that with your pencil. Just replace anything that maybe didn't stamp quite right. Okay? So now let's let's go on, and I'm just getting a sharper pencil here. So I'm just using just a plain pencil, and we're going to put in our little envelopes, and we're just going to do that with a straight line. So just a little bit below. Let me just zoom in so that you can just really see. There we go. So just a little bit below this area here, because this is actually, see where the line kind of comes around here? We're going to see the top of this just a little bit. So we're just going to bring this down a little bit, and we're just going to create a straight line just like that, and bring it down and put it into the mailbox just like that. So just a square, and then do another one, maybe just a little bit lower, and we could kind of tuck this one down, maybe a slanted line. So it looks like it's leaning. So when you slant the line like that, it looks like that envelope is kind of leaning over. So it just creates a little more interest than just doing straight lines. And then maybe we just tuck another one in here. You could do however many envelopes that you want. But how cute is that? So simple. Just a straight line out like this, and then a straight line down. And we can still see the bottom of that mailbox and up here as well. Okay? So let's keep going. We're going to now draw in our snowy line. So that's just a U shape. And if you use a pencil, you can always erase and do it again. So if you're not happy with how it looks, you can just erase it, like I'm going to do right here. And we're not going to worry about this line here because we're using our white paint. And when we go to put our snow in, we're going to put it on with our white paint that is going to cover all of this up. So we don't have to worry about any of this anymore. And leaving this line off and, using, something to cover that up. We don't have to worry about that at all. So we're just going to use the white and we're going to cover that up. Okay. Wow. Sorry, you guys. Let me just grab my water again. Okay. Let me move all of this other stuff out of the way here. And let's get going by putting in everything else into our little project here. So let's start out by adding some color to our little envelopes that are in here. And I'm going to put some color onto my palette now. So here's some red. We're going to be using the red. This is number 856 red. And then we're going to be using some of this light blue, 526. And this is totally up to you what colors you want to use. I've said before, like I said before, I'm really partial to that blue mixed in with the red and green, but you can use whatever colors that you want. There are so many fun Christmas colors that you can use, and I just am partial to the red and green and the blue. So a lot of these colors are in every one of my watercolor images. So this is the cool green, which is the one that I'm using throughout. It's $2.49. So kind of a pine green, cool pine green. And I'm going to take my number 4 brush now, and I'm just going to dip it in my water. Let me just show you. You really want to saturate your brush when you first use it, kind of get all the bubbles out of it and just really saturate it. And then pinch it off. Really pinch it off so you've got most of the water out. So you want to make sure that your brush is really almost flat. See that? And then next time you dip it, from now on, only the tip. So just the tip goes in the water. Never to the metal, ever. It's too much water. You won't be able to get it all off, and it's going to just saturate your image. So only the tip and pinch off. Just the tip and pinch off. And that's really all we have to do. Okay, so let's just go through here and do our first step, which is to pull the color out of the lines. And I don't need to do a lot. because we're gonna grow some vines over here, and we're gonna cover up a lot of this mailbox. And that's probably all we have to do. Just that right there. That's it. Okay, so let's add some color now. And let's just start with this little envelope back here. And I'm just gonna brush in this color, just like that. Dip my brush off. Make sure you clean your brush really well when you're going from color to color. Especially the red. For sure, the red. And your number 4, you know, if you have a 1, you know, this, you could use your smaller brush too. If your envelopes are pretty small, you can do that too. And then here is my green one. So I'm just gonna add my green color to this one. And then we can add a few little details onto it, you know, a little later. And, you know, maybe some address lines or a little area where we can put a postage stamp or something like that. Okay, so let's, since we're in the red here, let's just do the little flag. This little guy. Just put your colors, just, you know, it's just like coloring. No stress to it at all. Okay, so now let's put in, now that we've got this done, let's go on now and add our ivy onto here. Let me just add a little of this dark blue, 565. And you know what? I think I'm going to actually, I think I'm going to add some sky into the background first before I add the ivy in. So I'm watering this down pretty well. I don't, you know, I don't want to have it too dark, and you don't really want to have it everywhere. You just, you know, want to give the idea of it. So just, you know, put it in a few little places, you know, back in here. The blue will blend really well with those ivy vines, and you'll be able to kind of blend the color out. So I'm just kind of going back behind here. We're going to add some snow into the sky, so it's okay to get it a little darker so we can see the snowflakes. And then down here a little, maybe just add a little bit more in here. And I'm just kind of pushing this color around. You know, try not to do straight lines and straight strokes. It's really hard to control where the color is going. It's much easier to just kind of push it around, kind of push it where you want it to go, and keep it kind of in this vicinity. Okay, so let's do our little vine here. And I'm using my Cool Green 249. Now, I'm not using the whole thing. I don't need to. I'm going to use different parts of it. You know, if I were to stamp this huge branch on here, I mean, it would go clear up to here. So it's much better to just use small sections, and then it looks more natural too. It doesn't look like a stamp. So I'm going to just take the tip here, and I'm just going to stamp in, you know, a couple of little branches in here, maybe just one more little one. And maybe I'll take about a half, and I'll just stamp it in down here. And then maybe just a little bit here. And then maybe, you know, this is just, it's so up to you how you put this in. You could put in just a few, or you could do a bunch and just have this really just growing everywhere. Let's see, do I need any more? I really don't think I need any more in here. Maybe I'll just tuck one in the middle. It just, you know, and what we're trying to avoid is anything on here that looks like a stamp. We don't want that. We don't want anything to look too uniform. And if you're using small parts of the stamp like this, when you go to stamp it and add the water to it, you would never know what the stamp actually looks like, because you're sort of changing it up every time that you stamp it. So now we're just going to touch it. And you know, these leaves are a little broader, so you could just kind of touch each leaf like this and just kind of let it blend out. Don't get too much water on here. You know, where those, you know, some leaves, because they have more ink on them, will be darker and some will be lighter. And that's exactly what we want. Just kind of touch it. Touch it with your brush and just kind of blend it. You could take some of this green and kind of mix it into the post here, and this one down here, we kind of just left it hanging. So cute and just so fun. This whole thing is just so fun. And these little watercolor projects, because they're easy, you can just fill your whole journal up with watercolor, and people will just, they'll just be amazed. They'll just be, if you can bring yourself to give it away, because after all this, you know, and these little works of art, it's just, it's so fun. Now I'm going to take some of this blue and I'm going to put this shadow in. So you see these double lines here? That's going to be a shadow. And so we're going to just add a little blue in here, so we can create the side of the post. And the same with it up here. And then we're just going to come underneath here, under this little snowy mound here, and just put a little blue line just right under it. And this under here, same. You see how that pops that little flag out just by putting that little blue line under it? It's the tiniest little thing, but it really, really makes a difference. And if you're trying to make something look three-dimensional, this is the way to do it. Just add that little shadow underneath it, and that will bring that forward. These little envelopes here, if we just put a shadow under them like that, that brings these forward, and it looks like they're kind of sticking out over the lid of the mailbox. Now I'm going to take my dark twin tone, my brown. Look how well used this is. I've about worn the about worn the words off of it. Might be time for a new one. I'm going to darken this part of the mailbox in. So that little opening that we left, remember that little opening we left? We're going to just darken that in, and the same, you know, kind of down here. So this little area that we would still see of the mailbox on the inside. Okay, and this, you know, where this little clasp is, we're going to just darken that too. And it's just going to give us a little more dimension. I'm just going to put a little nail hole in there. See that little nail I just tucked in? I just put a little dot on there. And it looks like it's just going to swing freely now because it's got that little nail on it. Anytime you can add something dark like that, especially on the inside like this, showing depth, that is going to just pop. So that's going to pop your image so much just by doing that little thing. Okay, so now let's take our little tiny brush, the number 1. And I'm just going to add, you know, some little details in here, maybe just some little lines. You know, like maybe there's some text, you know, some return address. And then maybe this red one, I'll just make it look like the flap of the envelope is coming down. And maybe on this one, just maybe 2 lines on here. Maybe a couple there, just to add a little bit of detail onto that. Okay, so now let's add our little berries in. And we're going to do that with the red. So it doesn't matter what red you're using. I'm using the 856, but it honestly doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which red you're using. So I'm going to just put some little berries in different sizes. Try to group them a little bit. And, you know, they're going to be really bright if you can put them more to the white. You know, where you've got, you know, some white showing. And I've got lots of blue here, but I'm putting them in anyway. So these here are really going to pop because they've got a white background. And you know, they're kind of in clusters, so it sort of mixes it up. And again, it changes that look so that you have the impression that it's a painting, not a stamp. Because these are all different. Doesn't that just make it look just so festive? Putting these little berries in, just so cute. You can put as many of those in as you like. Okay, so now let's put the stripes onto our post. And I'm just gonna pencil them in because it's so much easier to do that. So you can do them straight if that's more comfortable for you, or you can do them on an angle. So I'm just gonna put them in straight here. And you can space them out as much as you want, but this will give you a guide so that they'll be more even. It's also more comforting to have something that's drawn on here. So you know exactly where you're going with it. And I'm going to take some red now. My red. And I'm going to just start. Let's see, where do we want to start with this? Maybe I'll start at the bottom and just see where it ends up. So I'm going to start down here and just skip every one. So this one, so I'm going to skip and go to here. And then the last one is kind of up here underneath. And you know, this post, because it's got an edge to it, we don't really have to worry too much about a highlight because it's not round. If it were round, if the post were round, we would want to leave a highlight in the center. But because it's flat, we don't have to worry too much about that. But we do want to make sure the side is darker. This little side is darker. So cute. So cute. Okay, you guys, are we ready for the paint? I think we are. So let me move my palette out of the way here. And we're going to get out our P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. Love this stuff. And you can use either brush. So if you have a small brush, you can use that. If you only have a number 4, you can also just use that. So you just want to dip your brush in water and, you know, kind of add some water to this just to kind of thin it out a little bit. It's really thick. And this is just how I put it on. I just take it right out of the jar and I just get it on my brush like this. And then I paint it on. So obviously we want to cover up this line here. So we're just going to brush it on like this. And, you know, it's 3-dimensional. You know, I love that. So it's thicker and it's going to show that, thickness of snow on here. You could put a little bit onto your little ivy if you want to. Just put, you know, a little white on here. Totally up to you if you want to do that. And then you can come in here and do the snow. Just a little snow falling. You know, we might see some in here. Might see some in front of our little ribbons. So you can put as much in of that as you want and let this dry completely. We're going to stamp our little bird in here. So we're going to do that after this dries. And actually, I probably should have stamped that in there first, in hindsight. Then it would be ready to go. So we're just going to wait a second here. Make sure your lid is on right away after you use your paint, because it will dry out. So make sure you do that. You know, as far as cleaning your brushes, they're pretty easy to clean. I have had no problem at all. I just put it into my water like this, and it cleans off right away. So it's just a dream to work with. It really is. And even if if I've got a little bit of white in my water, I can still use it, on my watercolor. So that was never a problem. Okay, now if you want to, you could personalize this little mailbox. That would be so cute. You could cut use an X-Acto and cut a slit here, and maybe put, an actual little envelope in here with a note. That would be so cute too. So there are lots of options that you can do with this. So while that's drying, let me just show you the one that I cut. So I did one earlier, and this one has a little bird on it already. So we're still gonna do that. Actually, you know what? Let me show you this, and then I'll show you how to make a cardinal while this is drying, with a bird that maybe you have. So I cut this to fit on the page. So let me just tell you what the dimensions are here, so you can cut yours. And I usually cut it in a square first, and then I do the edge on it. So the dimensions of this are just a smidge under 4. You could cut it at 4 inches. That would be easy to do. And then from where the scallop is about 2 1/4. So this whole thing, 2 1/4 by 4, is the size of the watercolor. Once you've done your little project, you want to cut it down to that size. And if you don't necessarily have to use the scallop, you could use a double scallop too. That would be really cute. So you could cut this just a little bit shorter, and maybe you have a decorative red or green that you want to put behind it. That would be really, really cute too. So there's so many different ways that you can do it. Okay, let me show you. Let me grab a bird that I have, and I'll show you how to create a little cardinal out of just a simple generic bird. So I'm just gonna ink this with the brown. So this is the 969, and we want to stamp it off. So I'm gonna stamp it once, and then here is our little project bird that we're gonna use. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is, because the cardinals, they have a lot of color on their face, they're very dark in here. So it's really easy to lose the beak. So I think the easiest thing to do is to wash out the face and put the beak on the side. And I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to first just kind of wash this out with a wet brush. You see how easy that washes out? It's just gone. It's gone really quickly. And then we're going to just pull a little of this color out of the line. Now I'm going to take some red, since cardinal is red. And I think I'm going to switch to my little number 1 in a second here, but I'm just going to use the 4 on the wing. We're going to still do each section on its own. So you're going to do the wing, and then you're going to come in and do the tail. Just like that. And then you're going to take a little more of this red, and you're going to do the whole area of the head. And just try to leave a little separation. You're working with a lot of color here. So it's good to have some areas that maybe are a little bit lighter, like this one. See this, I left the little belly a little bit lighter so that the color is concentrated on the wing. And I'm just coming back in here, making that a little bit darker. You totally get that the bird is red. You totally get that. So it's okay to, kind of change the color a little bit and have some areas maybe that are a little bit darker. So now I'm going to take my twin tone. This is an orange. If you don't have an orange, you can use a pencil and just put a beak in that way, and then just add the orange to it. So I'm just gonna make a little beak here, just like that. So he's totally looks like he's looking the other direction, doesn't he? And then we're going to come in with the black. Now, if you're going to do the black first and then add the red, you want to use a micron. You want to use a micron because this doesn't bleed. Here's the difference. Let me show you. So if you're going to color with a micron, and we have both of these on our website now. So, or a twin tone. This is a twin tone. Let me show you the difference here. See, the micron doesn't blend at all. See the twin tone? This will blend. So if you go to do the black first and then you add the red, it's going to get muddy like this. But if you do the black last, it doesn't matter. It's not going to bleed. Or you can use the micron that just will not bleed anyway. And we're going to hand draw this little area in, and honestly, it looks like a heart. So even if you think about that, you're just going to do kind of make a little heart here, just like that. And you could, if you wanted to, you could leave a tiny little area for the eye. Just like that, if you want to. Or you can just color it in black too. It's so tiny that it's really not going to matter. And now one last step. We're going to add his little crown on his head. Now, if you're a little nervous about doing this, you can use a pencil and pencil it in. So let me show you. So their little crown kind of comes back like this to a little point. It almost looks like it's a little hat on their head. So here's where I want to use my small brush. And just add the red in here like this. There you go. Isn't he cute? A little cardinal from a little generic. And then his little feet. You can put him wherever you want. So if for example, you want to kind of perch him, a little closer to the snow, you can leave the feet off and just do that with your twin tone. So in other words, you can shorten his little legs and put his little feet wherever you want to put him. And then this, his little hat, you can erase that if you did that with your pencil. So let me hold that. See how cute? And it looks nothing like this bird, but I think it's easier to do it like that. I think it's easier to turn it so that you can see the beak, because you can see how it could get lost in all of this color here. And if you lose the beak, you really, you've kind of lost the bird. So I do think that it's easier just to do it that way. Okay. Now let's go back to our project because it is completely dry right now, and I'm going to use my positioner, and I'm going to stamp that little bird in here. So now I'm going to use this one. This is the one from that the large birdhouse set, and it does look like a cardinal already. So it's going to be pretty easy. If you have this one, this one's pretty easy to use. So I'm going to ink this in the brown. The dark brown, so the 969, and just stamp it in the corner. So now it's kind of stamped off, and I can just kind of put him, maybe I'll just put him right, maybe right here. It's a good spot. He's kind of leaning over, and then I'm going to huff on it, and there we go. We got our little cardinal in here. And see where the beak is? The beak is on the side. So we're good to go here. All right, and I'm going to color him the exact same way. So I'm going to add some more red to my palette. And I'm going to just start with the wing. And this little wing over here and his little tail. So, you know, always remember, that's kind of one of those rules that can't be broken, is you want to color everything in its own section. So never color everything without paying attention to where the lines are. If there's a line separating that section, you want to really pay attention to that. And then I'm going to get this little area here. And I'm going to just try to leave that area where his little eye is. I'm going to try to leave that light. Try to. I don't know if I might lose it. And again, see under his little belly, I'm just leaving that a little lighter. Just so we can, you know, distinguish between the wing and the body of the bird. And like I said, you totally get that the bird is red. You totally get that. Got his little crown on his head. And then let that dry just for a second. I'm just going to grab my black again. Actually, let's put that little beak in. So I'm going to use my orange, and I'm just going to color his little beak. And think about it as a heart. Just, you know what? It's just a heart. So it kind of comes over the top of the eye, the black part. And it just looks like this. So don't make it too big. Just like that. And we could just add a little shadow under him. And just, you know, just like this. How cute and how fun. And be sure you sign. Be sure to sign. You know, you should sign all of these images that are in your journal. Should have your initials. So people can see when you created it. Okay, we are finished with this. Now let me grab the one that I have completed and we'll assemble the journal. So I've already cut this one out. And it's exactly the same. I've just cut it out so we can put it into our journal now. So let me just move all of this stuff away that I have closing in on me. And let me get everything out. So here's the page that we finished. Let me just zoom out a little bit. So you can see how to assemble this page. This is the page we did last week, or on the last part 1. And here's our journal. So we finished up this little pocket. We did the cover. We put our clasps on. And then we left this page out so we could do the back. And we're going to glue it in as soon as we finish the back on here. So I'm going to turn this over. And then I cut another page so that we can do the other one. And it's going to go just like this. Okay? And then we'll leave this one out until we do the back of it. So we're going to glue this page in, but not this one. Okay, so let me get that other journal out so you can see what we're doing here. Now we're going to create a corner in here, on here, but first we're going to put the contrasting paper on. So here's that page. I wonder if I could just fit this in here just a little bit like this so that you can see. So here's the page right here that we're creating. So we're going to glue this contrasting paper in, and it doesn't, you know, it's really not specifically Christmas, but it is the colors that we're using. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach this to the back of this page. So this is the back, this is the front, and this is the back. And I mean, this is cute too. We could use that side too. So I'm just going to use some tape, some sticky tape here, and just put this on. Make sure I'm in the screen here, you guys. Anybody have any questions so far? Let me look on here. Let's see. If you're following along with me, be sure to say. Sue, thank you, Bonnie. Great tutorial. Can't wait to start playing with my journal bits and pieces. Yes. So they arrived in, oh, she's in New Zealand. Oh, wow. Yes, it is. I mean, just doing it with you guys makes it so much fun. It really does. And it was fun putting it together. But now that I know that I'm doing it with you guys, it is just so much fun. It's just a fun project to do. Okay, so I'm going to glue this right in the center of this page. Just like that. And now we can add our pocket. Now I want to show you how I did this pocket in here. We're gonna put this little tag in here. So we're just gonna, you know, glue this little tag together. But I want to show you how I made this pocket because it is this die right here. So it's a straight die that cuts a scalloped edge. And by the way, that was the one I just glued in was this die here. So this little square contrasting die. And that was this one that I cut and put in here. And then the page. Here's the page die. And you can tell it's the page, it's bigger, and it has the two lines here. This is a score line, so you'll be able to fold. So this is the page, and we need a page, we need 6 pages to go into this journal. So I put this on here, and then let me just show you how I cut this. This works really well, and you could do it this way for every corner that you make, okay? So I measured the length here, and it was about 2 3/4. So I cut a square that was 2 3/4. And this is where I laid the die. Okay, so I cut a square that was 2 3/4, just like this. And then I placed the die just down a little bit from the top corner. So here's where I put it. So do you see that little edge right here? I just left about 1/4 of an inch, if that even, maybe a little less than 1/4 of an inch, and I cut it through the middle. Just like that. And this is what I got. Now I can place this in my page, and you can see it's exactly the same. So if you want it to be exactly the same as this page, as this contrasting color here, just measure that with your ruler. Measure this page with your ruler, and then cut a square that is that size. See, this is 2 3/4 here, and that's what I cut, 2 3/4 inch square, just a square. And then when you go to do your die, so here's your square. There's your square. When you place your die on here, drop it down a little bit from the corner. So you're going to cut it right about here. See, you've got that little, about an 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, between 1/4 and an 1/8 little edge. And then you're going to run it through your die cut machine. Put a little washi tape on it to keep it in place. And this will work. This will work for every time that you want a corner, just like this. Okay? I found that works the best, and I love creating these little corner pockets. I just think they are so cute, and obviously it would work with any of these decorative edges. So there's I think 3 of them in there that you could use. So this would also be so cute. Or you could do another one. You could do 2 of them, and then just cut the edges. Now, if you want this a little shorter, you could just cut it down a little bit too once you've made it. Okay, so let's go back to our page right here, and we're going to glue this pocket now to the page, and it's going to fit right there, just like that. And I just want to glue a thin line here so that I can make the pocket as big as I can. So I'm just going to use my art glitter glue, and whoops. That was a kind of a bubble here. And just going to go down along the edge, just like this. Get that pin back in there. And then I'm just going to glue it on. This really, you know, if you want to put something inside a pocket, you really want it to hold. And so I would use glue for any type of pocket rather than tape. It's going to hold way better. Okay, so now that we've got this done, let's take our, we're going to make our little envelope that goes right on the top. And the die that cuts that, this is the die that cuts the envelope. This little guy right here. So I have cut that, cut it out, and it's got score lines, so it'll score, so you can create this tiny little envelope, and it's going to fold in just like this. So these little flaps are just going to need a tiny little bit of glue. So just a little tiny bit right here. Hold that on there for a second. This glue glues so quick. I absolutely love it. And then I put in here, I put this little tag. And this is a different one actually, but there are several little tags. You could put a special little note in there if you want to, you know, write something special to someone, or, you know, a special hello, you can put that in there, or you could put a heart, or you could put one of those little ornaments from the other set. So like these little ornaments, you could tuck those little ornaments in there. It would be so cute. So anything that you want to put in the envelope, you can. So I'm now going to attach it to here. And I thought this was really cute just because we did the mailbox. So I thought having that little envelope over on the opposite side would just be really, really cute. So I'm just going to get my glue out again and just glue the back to it. And just glue it right onto here, onto my page. Tuck my little tag in here, a little note in here. And now we can make our little tag that goes inside. And I cut that too, so I'll tell you the dimensions of that. And I use the larger sentiment, so Christmas blessings to you and yours goes in here. I just cut two little squares of decorative paper. So let me tell you how big these are with my ruler. So this one is about 3 1/4. About 3 1/4 will do it. And it is 1 1/4, no, 1 3/4. Well, let's see. Oh gosh, 1 5/8. Math and me don't get along. 1 5/8. Yep, 1 5/8. But you know, honestly, this is not like super critical. You can make this tag however you want. But it actually, you want to make the back one, if you're going to make this exact one, you want to make the back one longer so that you can cut the scallop and the contrasting paper onto here. And then I just put a little hole in the back so I could tie something decorative on it. But let's glue this together. Let's just glue this onto here. And I'm just using some tape on this one. This doesn't need to hold a lot. Pull that back off like this. And then I just glued this. So I just kind of, I punched the hole after I just kind of lined it up and punched the hole together. And then I just glue it together like this. So you got a little contrasting color here. And then you can add your, you know, your little string or whatever you want to put in here. Just like this. Maybe tie a little knot in here. That'd be so cute. And then just cut it to size. And then my little sentiment just goes in the center. Christmas blessings to you and yours. So let's glue this on, and then we're done with that page. How quick was that? Peel that tape off. And just add this kind of in the center. And you could, you know, with this one, whoops, I got that crooked. Oh, that's gonna bug me. Let's see if I can pull it off and move it just a little bit. I think I can. Yes, there we go. That would really bug me. You could stamp this and then just cut around it. You know, this one is, if you want to know what the size of this is, it is 1 3/8. 1 3/8 by 2 1/8. 1 3/8 by 2 1/8. And you've got your little tag that will go into your little pocket, just like this. So cute. Let me just cut this tag off here really quick. So we've got this page done. So let's go ahead and go on to the next page. Let's finish this one, and then we'll glue this page into our journal. So I've got my next page, and this one that I've already cut. So this is the project we just did, and here is my page for that. So I've got another piece of this contrasting blue and green paper right here. So I'm going to glue that, just attach it to my page like this. Try to keep this in the camera, you guys. Okay, so I'm just going to put some tape on here. And we are almost finished with page 2. And then every time you put one of these together, and by the way, you guys, you could do several at a time. You know, just make, you know, these little projects are so quick. And once you do one, you can easily do another one. And just do, you know, 2 or 3 of them. And then you can make 2 or 3 of these books at the same time, which would be so fun. So I'm going to glue this one in now. Make sure that's straight. And then I'm going to add my little watercolor to it, just kind of in the center here. Just like that. So let's add that. And this isn't, you know, I'm using tape on this because it doesn't have to hold a lot of weight, you know, like a page. When we go to glue the pages in, we're going to use glue on that because it's just going to hold way better. Okay, that looks good. So we've got this glued in here, and you can see that cute scalloped edge. And then let's do this banner. And the little banner is this one right here. And I just cut that out of, you know, some red paper and then stamp my little image. And I've changed the text a little bit. So this was a prototype. I changed the text a little bit so it's a little more fancy. And I'm just gonna, I cut that out and I'm just gonna put it onto my little red tag. Or you could stamp it right on here and maybe emboss it in white. That would be really cute too. So I can just use a little glue here. Put this little sentiment in here. Like so. Make sure that's straight. And then I'm just going to pop it up a little bit with a couple of foam dots. Oops, messed that one up. Let's do another one here. So just kind of one on each end. Peel the backs off of there. And just put this right at the bottom. So cute. That is so cute. So now let's move this one out of the way and get our journal that we're working on. And let's add in this page. So I'm going to take this out while I glue it. And it's going to, so do you see the score line right here? See this score line that's along the spine here? That's where this is going to be flush with that. See the edge of that page is going to be flush with that, with the spine. And that's where we're going to glue it, right to the edge. And make sure that it's folding forward, not backwards, not like this. We don't want to glue it in like this. We want to glue it in like this. So that score line, so it's coming forward. Whoops. And I just dropped my little banner that was in my envelope. Okay, so I'm going to use my glue. And I'm just going to get it all over this. Make sure this is glued in tight. I'm going to line it up here just to the edge and just make sure it's straight. And I can see I've got it right along the score line here. Like so. Let that dry just for a second. And then this one, when we glue this page in, it's going to go right behind it, just like this. So this next one is going to be flush with this card here, with this page. And they're just going to, then the next one will do the same. So you always want to make sure that that lip is forward, is put forward like that. Okay, that should be all glued in now. So I can tuck my little tag back in. This one, tuck that in. Tuck my little banner in, my little tag in here. And if you want, you could just use a foam dot and just kind of attach that so that it stays in there. You could do that. And then our other page is going to be so cute, and it's going to go in here just like this for next time. And we'll do the back, and then we'll glue this page in. So I'm just going to kind of set it in here just like this. Close up my journal. And then, actually I don't need to close the clasp. And we will be ready to do the next page next time. So let me show you what we're going to be doing on the next page. So here is our project in 2 weeks. This will be part 3. We're going to be doing this little snow or Santa and the ornaments that are right here. So let me tell you what we're going to be using, what sets you're going to need. You're going to need the Santa and Workshop set. So this is 5572. And then the Church and Ornament set, which is 5573. So this one, the little ornaments, and we're going to do the little church later. So you'll be using both of these in the journal. And then we're going to use the tree from the watercolor tree set. So this one right here, we're going to put this little snowy tree in. And then the fir boughs, either from this set, either from the Christmas wreath set, this one, or if you don't have that one, you can use this little fir bough too. We're going to use those here with the ornaments, like that. Okay? So let me switch my camera back around and say goodbye to all of you. Okay, was that fun? Did anybody of you keep up with me? And how's your little journals coming? So let me hear from you really quickly before I sign off next time. And let me find my, if I don't put the pin in here, do you guys use this glue with the pin? So this is, I think this is a stainless steel little needle. And so I'm always terrified that I'm going to lose it. Okay, how did you guys do? Jean, thanks, Bonnie. This is so cute. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. This was so much fun. Oh, Roberta has made 2 journals, and she's going to make more. I know it. I just, if I were making these, you know, and kind of following along, I would do like an assembly line. And once you have that watercolor project down, just do another one, stamp 2 or 3 more. Even if you assemble it later, you've got all your watercolor projects already done for your journal. Okay, you guys, I will be anxiously waiting to do part 3 in 2 weeks. Next week I'll be back with a different live for you. So we'll be incorporating things from other sets. Don't forget the new release, you guys. So the new holiday release, let me show that to you one more time. It is a new Windows to the World, this one right here. This one is 5454. These are available right now on our website, just released. This little Christmas set, the Mousy Christmas, 5564. So these little guys, these would be really fun to put in the journal too. I think these would be a blast. You can watercolor anything. You can absolutely watercolor anything. Here's the Peekaboo set, 5506. These little guys with the little window that opens. And then the Harvest Together, 5507. This set right here. Available on our website right now, you guys. You heard it here first. So thank you so much for being with me. I love being with you guys. I love seeing your tutorials. Be sure to post them on our blog. So if you go to artimpressions.com, click on the blog, you'll see once you get to the blog at the very top, it'll say Bonnie's Journals or Bonnie's Watercolor Journals. Click on that and you'll see what is new and what you need for the next tutorial, and all the tutorials will be archived on there, so you'll be able to see previous ones as well and be able to see what you're going to need for the next one. And you can post your projects, which I cruise through there all the time and see. So I love seeing what you guys are making. I'm just so impressed with you and how these are turning out. Absolutely love it. Any other questions? 2-inch projects are perfect for the journal. Yes, they are. So any of your little 2x2 canvases that we've done with the window are so cute, will be so cute in the journals. It's just, you know what, the sky is the limit. And I have so many plans for this little book, you guys. We're going to be doing lots of stuff with it and making some really fun things. So I will see you all next week for another Wednesday Live. Don't forget Kendra on Tuesdays. She is on Back to Basics. She was on last night with a really fun impromptu project. So she had a full day. I think she had an exam and just a full day of class. She came home and got on live and did an impromptu. So that was really, really fun to watch. She is so good that it's fun to watch her do something just that you guys are asking for. So be looking for a few more of those from her. She will be doing more of those with her busy schedule. So check her out on Tuesdays, 5 o'clock Pacific time, and then me. I am back on Wednesday, and next week Tuesday will be Throwback Tuesday. So the second Tuesday of the month is Throwback Tuesday. So I can't wait to show you that one. You're going to love that project. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week. And I will see you back again next week.